Hi there, I'm Go Veer Go Home, and I'd like to welcome you back to my channel. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm not going to wear a hat, but besides that, I'm going to do a roster update video. I think it's about that time. It's near the end of August, so I'm just going to do a recap of the year thus far as to what I have now, and then maybe a few extra things. We'll see, but stay tuned. Have three categories here: Via Rail, Go Transit, and Ontario Northland. It's not a big collection, but for what it's worth, I feel like I've got some of the best there is in my categories here. So we'll just take a quick look through, and I'll show you what I got. Starting with Via Rail, we've got this LRC by Rapido. It's DCC and sound. You see my review on it. Love this locomotive. It seems like I had to wait about 10 years for something like this to happen, and it finally did, so I'm glad that it's out there now. Next, just recently released, is the Rapido F40 2D, another DCC sound equipped locomotive. This is my special $10 bill run. I was able to receive a $10 bill with it. I was one of the lucky recipients. It's an all-around awesome locomotive. I know everybody who got one of the F40s from the first one, they were happy as well, and there was no difference for this one. So that's my Via Rail there. Just the two locomotives. That's all you need. I only have so many passenger cars anyway. So next off, we'll do Go Transit. It's my Athearn F59PH I believe. Not prototypical in the slightest. Still waiting for another one of these to come out in the new paint scheme. This one was purchased DC, and I since added DCC sound. I think that's Tsunami that's in there from like one of the first runs of Tsunami. Sounds great, runs fairly decent. I'm happy with it for what it's worth, but it's no proto. So next, one of my favorite locomotives is the GP40-2. This is Go Transit. This one here was done by Atlas. Great job. There's a little guy in the driver's seat there, and this one is DCC and sound. The only thing I don't like is it has almost too realistic of a drive power, so it starts real slow, and you could crank that throttle all the way up, but it starts off slow and it takes forever to get up there. I'm sure there's a way to reset it, but maybe down the road I'll do that, but for now keep it a little bit realistic here with this. So that's my Go Transit right there. I've got a set of cars for each, one being the regular in the back there, and then one set of the new paint scheme. But that's for a different video there. Next, we move on to our Ontario Northland. This is one of the most recent paint schemes, except for the newest, which is that one there. They've been painting a lot of and I'm referring to the realistic, the real locomotives. This is the most recent, actually. In the past year or so, they've been painting all their locomotives in this paint scheme, but this is the only one actually done by Bowser that has been released to the public. I really feel like we should get some more of these out there on the shelves, maybe in the GP38 and maybe GP40, just to kind of match with what's going on in real time. But we're going to look at this paint scheme here, because this is one of my favorites out of all the Ontario Northland. It's what I collect mostly, so it's mostly modern. This is an SD40-2 Bowser. This one literally just came out. You literally just watched my review on it. You literally know how much I love it. Literally. And of course I have to have two. I got this one. This was from the first paint scheme. It's another SD40, or not first paint scheme, the first run of the SD40s that Bowser did. I like it as well. Paint job is, you know, like I don't like it as much as this one here, but I wanted to get it because it's, you know, it's modern. Both of those are DCC and sound equipped, as you heard in the video. Moving on to the GP38 by Athearn. Athearn, yeah. I bought it DC, added the DCC sound, Toonami as I call it, but it's the Tsunami 2. Threw a sugar box speaker in there. Sounds awesome. It's a good little shunter. It pulls, pushes. Yeah, I don't really have any complaints about it. Could be a little bit more proto, you know, a bit more bells and whistles on this thing, but it's fine for what it's worth. Then we move on to another Athearn. Seems like Athearn does love their O&R, seeing as how they're usually the ones to put these out. But yeah, this is a GP40-2, another one of my favorites. This one is DC still. I look to possibly put DCC sound in it, or even just DC, or DCC, sorry, non-sound. I always get that all mixed up, but yeah. It's a good one. It's really noisy. I find that Athearns are really noisy. I don't know, it's just the drive system. Not too much I can do about that though. Recently I just acquired this GP9 high nose in the same paint scheme. As you can obviously see the trend here. This one's lightly weathered for a little bit more of a realistic look, and it's still DC, but I will be adding DCC and sound to it just to make it a little bit more realistic here. And the last one, not least, my SD70. This is another Athearn, yeah. So I did a lot of work on this one actually, because you know, when you get it in the box, none of the handrails are on, and you have to add all that stuff. All the handrails were like that bluish color, but when I looked at the proto picture, all the little handrails and the grab irons, they're white. Those have been added specifically to match the prototypical. It didn't come with those in the box, but those were added. I also added DCC and sound to this. This thing sounds amazing. It has the flashing ditch lights. This is just like my favorite of the lot, but yeah, it's a real heavy duty puller for sure. And I might get another one of these in the future. I don't know. But yeah, for what it is worth right now, that's my collection, and probably gonna be looking to expand in the near future. But for O&R, I'm happy with these. Go Transit, I mean, like I said, I've got another one of these on the way that will be the new paint scheme, and that's good for Via Rail there. But other than that, I think it's time to add another. Okay, so here's my question, guys, and ladies, guys and gals. You guys know Ontario Northland, Via Rail, and Go Transit. They've been my three main ones for the past several years. But I do want to expand in the near future. Now, I do want to keep it to Ontario. It's where I live, it's what I know. But I've seen, you know, different road names that, besides, you know, obviously what I've already showed you. I've seen multiple road names in Ontario, just as it is. So these are a couple of my personal preferences. You can tell me what you think. So one that makes sense for me, or to me, would be CN. Basically, CN Rail owns the same lines that Via Rail and Go Transit borrow, basically. Yeah, it's very centralized in Ontario, and I like the paint schemes that they do, and it would definitely be a good option as far as something that I would consider. Another option, CP Rail. CP Rail is another huge one. I feel like they've got a lot of product coming out, and it would be great to do some reviews and whatnot on their product as well. But again, it's so hard to choose, right? CN, CP, you know, and then there's others, I'm sure. But I want to hear what you guys think. Well, what are your suggestions? What do you guys want to see? What should be the road name that I expand to next? Who knows? I might do both. not all at once, of course, but which one do you want to see next? Because I do want to expand, and I would love to hear your input in the comments below, of course. Just leave a message saying, I vote for this, you know, and we'll see who wins. I'll pick up a locomotive, possibly, and then I'll do an unveiling, and maybe a live product review all at one time, just for, you know, for the fact that I'm, you know, going to add another road name. I think it's a big step for me. But having basically completed my roster as is, right, with, you know, a few things here and there that I'm probably going to be picking up, you know, or whatever I find. Besides that, I want to know where to go next. So let me know in the comment section below. CP Rail, CN Rail, or other. And if you put Norfolk Southern, I'll highly consider it for Derek Glass. I know you watch, so I know he would say, oh, Norfolk. But even though they are amazing, I love the look of them. You know, the black and white with that pony. Just doesn't go through Ontario, so it doesn't really make sense for me. Otherwise, totally. Don't tell anyone I told you, though. But I totally would. But yeah, so it's not so much passenger or freight. I think at this point I would probably just start building up my freight, because I have my Via and my Go Transit, and that's my passenger service. So I'm cool with that. But yeah, more or less freight and whatnot now. So let me know what you think. And look, guys, I found my hat. More product on the way. Anyways, that was too long without my hat. Okay, so all the changes that are going on and whatnot, you know, adding a possible another road name, it's definitely out there for you guys to put your input. Here's another one. I don't know when I'm going to be moving, but as you guys have seen with other people's channels, because it does happen, you know, you got to move, you got to worry about the layout. You know, you don't know where you're moving to. I mean, I've already moved, you know, from a garage space that's like 2x2, and basically got rid of those, but converted them into a layout that you'd seen last year, late last year. I got to a point where I started running trains, and then I think it was back in December, I did a huge purge of like all this extra stuff that I had. And that was basically just to fund the change of the layout to do what, you know, you've been seeing me work on this past year. You know, it's been awesome. I've been learning a lot and doing a bunch of different things here with the layout. Been having some live videos. Got Mark to come over, got Dave to come over, run some trains, did a lot of really good reviews. I've been really happy with the way things have been going. However, I know I'm going to be moving in the next few years. I just don't know when. So the more I think about it, the more it bothers me. Not bothers me that I'm moving. Well, that kind of bothers me too. No one likes to move. But I'm investing more and more money into this layout just to sell it in the end. Basically. It's not going to go where I'm going. It's not going to make it up the stairs by itself. And taking it apart, well, let's say it's probably going to do more damage than good. So, basically, I'm going to sell off my layout. Yeah, it's tough. On one hand, it's tough to do, because you don't really want to take it all apart after doing so much work. And, well, it happens, right? It happens to all of us. At some point, gotta take it all apart. Peter, when he moved, he didn't move. Wait, did he move? No, he had to just change his basement. Sorry, Peter. I was paying attention. But he went. He went from N-Skill to HO. But I don't know. There was a few other people that I know that moved as well, and they had to disassemble their layout and start over. I think Jimbo did. He moved, so now he's starting over, but kind of doing the modular approach now. As most of you have seen, or if you've been following my my Facebook channel, well, same thing. It's just adding pictures and whatnot. Or if you're following M&M Rails, Mark, you'll see he's been working on some modules, and he is doing a layout, and I've been helping him with it. And I kind of want to do the same approach. Our plan, long-term plan, is basically I make a bunch of modules. He has his modules. It's all portable, so it'll go to a train show, which is great. If not, we still got a DCC layout each. I know he really wants to run trains on DCC ever since he got the DCC system. So we're just starting off with that. He's got his, I'm going to need mine. I'm going to do some sort of configuration down here. Gonna have to move some stuff around. But first, this layout has to go. A few people that did message and are interested in a lot of the parts, and even like this full section here. Somebody just said, I'll take the whole thing. So I'm like, perfect, that works. It's all going to go down in the next 3 weeks. This is going to be gone in 3 weeks. So changes, lots of changes. Trying to remain positive, of course. I'm at that phase right now, the exciting part of what am I going to come up with as far as track work and whatnot. Maybe I have a track plan already. Who knows? We'll see. Lots more videos to come on that. Big thing though, I know that a lot of you who do watch my channel, who have watched the lives, you've all heard me at least say one time, my biggest regret was going with Code 100. And it's nothing against Code 100 in general. It's great. It does what it needs to do. But I want a more realistic look. And the Pico Code 83 is what I find to be a bit more realistic looking. It's probably what I'm going to lean towards. And that's probably what I'm going to go with. So working with that, which I've never worked with before, will be interesting to say the least. No nails. No nails. I won't need nails. So I'm gonna be doing the old glue and soup can to weigh it down and hold it down. So that'll be interesting. Gotta go get some soup now. So yeah. Well, we're gonna take one last trip around the layout here before I start disassembling things, organizing, putting my rolling stock and my locomotives back in their boxes, just to sleep it off for the fall until I have a few modules that I can actually, you know, fit some trains on. I'm still going to be doing reviews and stuff. I'm still going to be picking up locomotives and rolling stock. I have my turfed module. I don't even know if you call it a module. It could be a module, but it's just my diorama. There we go, diorama display thingy that I can, you know, hook some power to it and have the train go back and forth. You'll hear the sounds and whatnot. It looks good because it's all grassed and all that. So I can still do reviews and whatnot on that for now until my layout is back up and running again. So join me for that, and hopefully I'm not out of commission for too long. But bright side, new locomotive, new series. I hope you guys aren't getting tired of this whole, so you're building another layout thing. Trust me, it's not really that I want to keep doing this, but I'm thinking long term now. So it'll be interesting, to say the least. And I don't think I'm going to do grades, because it's tough. Especially if you're doing a portable layout. Grades is not ideal. I'll just stick to the main level and just scenic around it, and hopefully everything turns out all right. And we'll keep going, keep chugging along, right? So that's my piece there. So if anybody wonders why they've seen my listing up on Kijiji, or I'm asking if anybody wants to buy any track or anything like that, now you know. I just want to clear the air. I'm still in the hobby, still loving this thing, still doing it. So I'm just gonna have a little bit of a change of pace here, clear room, and start over. Fresh bench work and everything. Gonna do them all lightweight, screw them together, make them portable, legs come off. Gonna do everything to a T, everything by the book, and everything consistent. I got nothing else to say. Let's take another, like one last trip around the layout, and we'll see you guys soon. Thank you for subscribing to me. Thank you for watching. It does mean a lot to me, but I've got a train to catch. Come join me.